Hello, and welcome to Worldview Connections, Philosophy of Religion series, part 19. This is about Christianity and the science of evolution, specifically going into BioLogos by Isaac Matthews. And with our group at Worldview Connections, welcome. We hope you enjoy this video sequence. What we're getting into today is some big questions here. Does Christianity and the science of evolution conflict? Does faith in Christianity go against reason and science? Can Christians be scientists? Doesn't science require us to abandon faith? So check out our other videos about scientism and some of these other topics with science and faith. But this will go into a very unique group that I think is pretty special, pretty interesting. Um, I don't agree with all the people part of it, but I think it's definitely something important to present. Uh, Dealing with questions like, does faith get in the way of good or true science? So, introducing BioLogos. The BioLogos Foundation is a Christian advocacy group that attempts to reconcile evolution with the idea of God. Um, it was founded by one of the top biologists in the world, Francis Collins, and he led the Human Genome Project and now directs the National Institutes of Health. Uh, I've listened to other interviews and researched a lot of stuff that he's presented. He's now commissioned by the government as I make this video. This is made during the COVID-19 pandemic, just into the new year of 2021. But he's been working on that with other scientists to find a cure, helping with that whole project, trying to bring solutions to the world against coronavirus. I was very impressed with his science knowledge and very intelligent, great, kind, funny guy. Um, but in 2006, he wrote the best selling book, The Language of God, in which he tells his journey from atheism to Christian belief, showing that science is not in conflict with the Bible, but actually enhances faith. BioLogos was established by Francis Collins in 2007 after receiving letters and emails from people who had read his book, The Language of God. I mean, obviously, he was getting so many questions. He's like, "Look, I can't respond to every email. Um, just the little communications we've received is enough to keep some of us at Worldview Connections busy trying to communicate with people. And it is. I can just imagine someone like him at that level trying to address each person's communications. So developing a group, a foundation like BioLogos is a great idea. I think the natural next step of the process. The primary audience was Christians, but Dr. Collins has also sought to engage with skeptics and seekers invested in science. Check out our video comparing and contrasting the works and ideas of Francis Collins and Richard Dawkins. They're both very intelligent men. The picture on the left is Francis Collins, of course. On the right is Dr. Richard Dawkins, of course. Both very intelligent, good men. I mean, both men who I think are being true to what they believe is right and good and true. Um, they actually had a debate featured with some other, Dr. Dennett and Mr. Carson, who ran for president. Very interesting discussions, and obviously they disagree. And so that's another thing I like to point out, that being a believer or a non believer doesn't make you stupid or intelligent either way. This isn't in the 21st century. I think we're getting to a point of sophisticated discussion on both sides that you can't just be divisive and crude and rude about it and saying, oh, well, you're an idiot. Whether you're a Christian talking to an atheist or an atheist talking to a believer or a Hindu or any other faith, but this is BioLogos. Today we're talking about the Christian view, the worldview that they hold. BioLogos affirms evolutionary creation as a core commitment. Um, Also, you get into their website, which I'll show you the link, biologos.org, but you go on there and they have common questions. Go on their menu, some great options to go deeper. This video is just to kind of scratch the surface. They address Christianity and science. They talk about scientific evidence. They talk about biblical interpretation, which I would put here very importantly. It's inviting to many forms of types of Christians. You don't have to be this evangelical, orthodox, one flavor if you will, of Christianity, very welcoming environment. Also getting into God's relationship to creation, to human origins. A lot of interesting stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to create a video to go into all this. I encourage you to go on to biologos.org and check it out. Their commitment is, I will show a few points that is on there. I've presented this with some other images, but going through their commitment is, they say, we embrace the historical Christian faith, upholding the authority and inspiration of the Bible. But then you get into interpretations of the Bible, and I think some people are upset about that, and Christians who have a different view of it, or maybe even some atheists think that, oh, why are you going to smuggle Jesus into this? Why do you have to have God in this? But I think they present some very great cases and good presentations as well. Good videos on their website. Another one is we affirm evolutionary creation, recognizing God as creator of all life over billions of years. So right there, that is throwing out a one of those dogmas that some Christians and many other types of Christians and other forms of religion and Christianity, like Mormonism, LDS Church, um, different various Christians think it has to be 6,000 years old. So, yeah, you see this right here as a very different point of view, which some people think is very welcoming, and about time there's more reasoning and science in a faith based community. Also, it says we seek truth, ever learning as we study the natural world and the Bible. So they're offering, to me, is a cool thing, is like a third way. You don't have to throw the scriptures out of sacred text of any religion for that matter, or science. Let's get all truth, and let's see if we can get it gathered into one great, one whole group, one whole source, which I think is a good open-minded way of approaching truth, being loyal to truth. They say we strive for humility and gracious dialogue with those who hold other views, and they do. They have a lot of great workshops and conferences that they discuss all kinds of ideas. We aim for excellence in all areas, from science to education to business practices. And so, what is the full belief system presented by BioLogos? You can go on there, biologos.org, and it's about us. You click on the tab and what we believe, and just look at that. Great. I think they have a great presentation there. I encourage you to go on their YouTube channel, BioLogos YouTube. And so here's the link. I'll provide that in the description below. um, some good links for you to go on to and check it out. I think it's really worth time for anyone who is interested in the philosophy of religion with science, you know, being in the 21st century, and this is still a relevant issue. Religion is not going away. As you see in our other videos, the majority of the world believe in God, and the majority are Christians. There are various types of Christians, and I think it's important to check out what BioLogos is saying. Um, Another question I'd like to ask is, can Christianity and the science of evolution go together? And that's what BioLogos gets into. Yes, indeed, that's their commitment. Um, Responses to BioLogos Foundation, it's drawn criticism, of course, and what doesn't, especially in this kind of area, from both creationists and atheists. You can't make everybody happy, and that's something I think you have to keep in mind. But I think it's good to listen to everybody's concerns. If you look at Pew Research, the public views about human evolution, this is a controversial issue. I mean, look at American history, look at history of the worldwide history of science and religion. It's been so much dogma on both sides. And honestly, let's be honest, there is dogma on both sides, and it becomes very divisive and polarized. Check out our other videos about religious diversity, atheism, and other topics in the philosophy of religion. We talk about the diversity and the landscape of religions out there. But look at this chart. Within the 60% who believe in that life evolved over time, it breaks it up on the right side, where there's 32% of that 60% believe that there's an evolution due to natural processes. And then there's a 24% that believes there is a supreme being guiding this evolution. And so there's that strain of people. 4% they don't know, refuse to kind of get into the details. But overall, there's the 33% that believe that life existed in present form since the beginning. So yeah, you see that third, um, these traditional religion, which actually is more of a new idea. The more I research this, early founders of Christianity um, really actually held to a lot of views that go along with what I'm presenting in this video today. We hope Worldview Connections. We hope to be making a video about that topic soon. But there's a 7% of people that they don't know. They refuse to really get into the details of that. Um, this cartoon animation, I think, gives in the concern from the Christians, and they say, God throws the creationists a curve. Let there be evolution. And so, a lot of them that I've personally spoken with who do find a concern with what BioLogos is saying, that they think it's getting too cozy with science and will open a door to people having more doubts and questions and leaving the faith. And I disagree. I think that it's a healthy discussion and a needed discussion, as all honest and caring and sincere discussions need to be. There are other responses, positive responses to BioLogos. They've received the praise. Supporters of the BioLogos Foundation include Washington Post columnist Kathleen Parker, who has argued that the foundation's goal of helping fundamentalists evolve can only be good for civilization. Obviously, there's a little tongue-in-cheek humor in that, but I agree. I think that's progress. I give that 2 thumbs up. Look, I just love the fact that people are willing to discuss these ideas, and that we live in a time where government is not burning us at the stake, run by the church or run against the church, and not letting us have freedom to speculate and talk about these things and choose to have faith in certain ways that we feel is right and good. BioLogos also helps connect believers and all people with other people who are creating, seeking truth of science and truth about God. And so here's one example. You go on there, they have some video samples that's taken from this documentary, Behold the Earth. Um, and so I think it's cool to see people trying to find a true understanding of life and the universe. And here's a close up on that. Behold the Earth. You can look that up on iTunes and purchase that. I think there's some beautiful footage, great music on this, and just great ideas that look into being environmentally conscious as well as Christians, and having the responsibility to take care of God's creations and have a point of view. So please visit biologos.org. Let us know what you think in a comment below. Thank you for watching. Again, please leave your comments. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns or other things you'd like us to talk about. Share this video with a friend. And just to show you the resources right here, you can pause the screen and write these down, or just click on the links below. Appreciate you watching. Again, BioLogos on YouTube and their website, their common questions. And so thank you for watching, and please subscribe and join our community. Have a great day.